All right, so cryptography is what we're going to talk about next. I remember when I was growing up, and I think they still have it on Cinemax. The Tales of the Crypt was something that I would watch from time to time, and um, if you go back and read historically, it, the word crypt comes from a Greek word kryptos, and it is um, the definition is hidden, and then ography is the study of. So the study of how to hide things essentially is how we define cryptography. Now, what you will not see on the exam is historical questions, but I would be remiss without um, actually going through and talking about some of the cool stuff over time that we've seen. Uh, it all started, I think, some of the early findings that has cryptography in it goes back to the ancient Egyptians and the hieroglyphics that a lot of times we saw written on the walls. That was, if you ask scholars or read books, they denote the foundations of cryptography going back to the hieroglyphics on the walls of Egypt. And from that, we start to see and introduce new and curious ways to try to hide information from people that we do not want to see it. Um, some of the key terms that we're going to get into, and at a fundamental level, these are things that you need um, to understand here. The plain text means that it's human readable. So that means that you and I can take a look at it and we can read it. Now, whether it's in English or Spanish or whatever, we can read it, and that's the definition of plain text. Ciphertext means that, hey, you know what? Something's weird about this. It's encoded or encrypted, and it's not human readable. So it must be read by a machine, or it needs to be run through some algorithm to be able to be decrypted. So typically, what we see is just a simple way to go through and encrypt. So plain text is encrypted. It becomes ciphertext. Then ciphertext is decrypted, and it becomes plain text. And we do this to try to hide things from people, whether it's in transit or on specific devices, to make sure that our message does not get intercepted and read by our adversaries or even people that we do not want. Some of the key terms that we introduced a couple lessons ago come and rear their ugly heads again here. And you're going to see this throughout any of the common body of knowledge. Confidentiality, integrity, and authentication, authorization, and non-repudiation. Now, one of the things that is left out in that CIA triad here is the availability. Because with cryptography, that is the least of our concerns. We're trying to make it so it's not available to everybody. We want it to be confidential. We want it to have integrity and specifically have non-repudiation, which means that where it came from, it cannot be denied. And with the integrity of that object, has it changed? Can we put a hash on it to verify whether or not it has changed? And then once something has been authenticated, what is it authorized to tell someone? Does someone have the authorization to be able to decipher the entire ciphertext? And if so, then go ahead and unencrypt it. If not, then only show them what they need to see. So keep that in mind when you're going through and looking at this.